Shut up. Welcome to Roll and Review, where we talk about all things nerdy and awesome. I'm Jim, and today for our Roll and Review show, we got the wonderful Alex Camp, Peter Stein, and Matt Wires. How's it going?
That was a really unexpected start to the show.
I told you we were starting the broadcast. I literally said we were starting the broadcast. Then Matt's just like, I'm just going to randomly talk. Because apparently when I say I'm starting the broadcast, Matt's like, so we have like 5 more minutes?
No, I didn't really Peter was on.
Getting out.
Yeah.
And that's Matt's fiance giving him grief for being an idiot. I assume.
Yeah.
So, got a lot to talk about today. We doing this in lieu of our D&D game because of illness and traveling and so many things we haven't been able to do that. So we figured you guys deserved at least a roll and review show.
All 3 of you that will watch this.
Hey, we sometimes get double digits after once the video's produced, not live. Fuck, no one gives a shit. But.
Yeah, no one cares when we're live.
But I'm not editing this shit, so Matt, don't fuck it up.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Perfect. So
you just challenged him, and you know how well that's going to go.
I know it's going to go terrible.
Challenge accepted.
All right. So, the very first thing to talk about today is the movie It. Came out today. I don't know why my computer's being dumb. Came out today, but it actually seems to be doing pretty well in the box office. $13.7 million just from today. Or
19 hours? That's not bad.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. It's I think they're predicting about $40 million, which pretty much sets records for like horror movies in this month.
Yeah. Well, it has a huge precedent like coming in because it is It. So
I would say, yeah, the following for It is pretty huge. It is probably why a lot of people don't like clowns. Itself.
Oh, definitely contributes, if not the primary reason.
That and those weird guys last year who were just like walking around in clown costumes fucking with people. Those are the 2 reasons. Those guys.
And both are back. It, and there was some sighting of those people doing that again. So,
which I'm sure is not a coincidence.
No, probably not.
No, not at all.
I did notice online yesterday or 2 days ago, apparently some police officers spotted a red balloon coming up from a storm drain on the side of a road.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Someone apparently had put, and it was like right by the movie theater too, so someone had put it there to mess with people, and the cops were freaking out a little bit.
That's awesome.
I know. That made me so happy.
Yeah, someone isn't sleeping tonight after they saw that.
Yeah. Right?
I can tell you I'm not going to go see it, so don't worry about that.
Let's see it.
The only thing that's going to be interesting, no matter what they do, it's going to be really hard to replace Tim Curry.
That's true.
Like, Tim Curry is pretty irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that I've heard about this movie, and I haven't followed it very much, is that the change in rating is apparently going to allow it to be closer to what the original story was.
Oh,
That's all that I know. That's all I've heard.
So it's going to be much, much worse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Oh no, it's closer to the story. That means it's going to be freaking terrifying.
Yeah, but to say, if you guys read It, bad things that go on in there. Nothing good happens.
It's Stephen King. Are you surprised?
No.
No.
I wonder how Stephen King is going to feel about like the movie itself, though, what they've changed and everything.
Well, if it's closer to his story, he's probably going to like it.
Well, Stephen King wants people to adapt, but you know how much it costs to get the rights to a Stephen King property? Costs $1.
Yeah.
You pay Stephen King $1, and then you can use any of his property for something. He wants people to use it.
That's hilarious.
I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean,
unless that's changed like in the last year, but that's what it has been for forever.
I don't think it has. And I mean, he's making a comeback, especially amongst a younger audience. So it's great that they're redoing this newer, plus Dark Tower, the show. I think it's a
What was
show.
the other
They're
thing
making
they
a
did?
show now?
Yeah.
Well, good.
Oh,
Like, that's the only way to do that justice is a show.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
So-
the movie does not do the Dark Tower justice. Like, that thing was bound to fail just because you can't do the Dark Tower like that.
Yeah.
What was the?
Well, and
what-
they've done the Dark Tower in like comics in the past few years, which has been pretty cool. So I mean, like they're adapting his stuff for a newer audience to get them interested in Stephen King and getting those stories out, which is what I appreciate about him because that's honestly like to me that screams like artist. Like he wants people to experience the story, to experience what he wrote, not like, oh, I'm just doing this to make a shit ton of money.
But then also, then
Right.
to be fair, Stephen King, his brand is so big, he doesn't have to worry about someone else messing up his brand because he's Stephen King.
Oh, totally true.
That is also
Yeah.
true.
What was the show that they just had out? That had a couple seasons that was based off his books. I think Fox had it.
I have no
Shit, I don't
idea.
know. Google that for us, Matt.
Yeah.
You bring up shit we don't know. You have to Google it. That's how this
Yeah.
show works. And Googling it as loud as possible.
Yes.
Oh, that's not me.
Who's doing that? Jesus.
I don't know who that was, but it was not me.
Take,
Oh
take
my
a,
God, it's
I'm,
been a
I'm taking
while.
a screwdriver and just rattling it back and forth.
Fucking hell, man. Fucking hell.
So it looks like I'm typing too while it's getting the noise.
You're doing that. Peter's just like, yada, yada, yada. God, we're fucking...
All just want to mess with you, Jim. That's just the way it is.
Oh, Peter, you're rubbish. So go put yourself in a rubbish bin. That's for our UK audience. I know, rubbish. I love it.
Under the Dome.
Oh, yeah, Under the Dome. How did I
Oh,
know
yeah.
that? My dad talked to me about that for like a long time.
To be fair, your dad talks about everything for a long time, so
This
it
is
probably
true.
just blended together.
That is true. Your dad does.
Under the Dome, Game of Thrones, how we're doing something with rabbits. When we play D&D, I just, thank
But
God.
I'm about to say rabbits. When did this turn into mice and men?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Every-
I want to go
For
see
the-
that.
No, there was Alex is aware of this, but when kind of half of this group started playing D&D together, it was when I was living with my parents back home, and every game my dad would walk through and be like, "So are you winning?" "Yes, sure." And he was like, "So who killed the rabbit today?" Or who, whatever. And we're just like, "Oh, Dad, stop."
And we're all just doing the collective. Please walk through the room. Please walk through the room. Please walk through the room.
Your dad
And I
did
feel
that when
okay
we
saying
played,
this because my dad doesn't watch our videos. So
too. Yeah, your dad did that when we played too.
yeah, no, oh, was it the same game, Matt?
Oh no!
Yeah, Alex
sure.
joined the game
That's
later.
Just
true.
because you left doesn't mean the game ended.
I forgot that you were in that group, Alex. You came after a while.
Yes.
That's
he
why
did.
I moved.
Poor Alex.
Right? Thank you.
Poor Alex. Wait, no, let's not say poor Alex. His head doesn't need to get any bigger.
Comments from the peanut gallery.
You're just gonna have my sassy comments in the background every once in a while. Sorry.
Clearly.
Totally fine with me. Totally fine with me.
Natalie, this is why we get along, because I do the sassy comments on camera, you do it from off camera. It works.
Apparently, you also do it with different editing stuff too. Like so.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Anyone who's watching this, go check out the Unpopular Opinions videos. You can
All
see
the-
that beautiful work.
All the funny parts of Unpopular Opinions are from me.
Oh, yeah. That's the editor getting his revenge on me speaking my mind. Anyway, we'll have a new Unpopular Opinions out probably at the end of this next week, not the beginning of next week.
Yeah.
Okay, end of next week, like math is hard. The 16th?
A couple days after the hurricane destroys us all, we'll be fine.
Basically. We'll set the shit up so when we're killed, even though we don't live in Florida, once everyone's killed, it'll post automatically to YouTube. So,
Yeah.
end of the world is coming. Jose will end us all.
We have kill switches on us, so as soon as we die, the video uploads.
Once I can no longer be shamed, videos go up.
Jim, that's
Yes, so-
a long time ago.
Okay, new unofficial topic. The amount of backlash Jim got for his last video. We're talking about
Oh,
that right
gosh,
now
yeah.
because it needs to
Okay.
be talked about.
Fucking hell. All right, so the last video,
Video get. Jeez.
a lot.
When
So
he posted his "I hate Skyrim" on the Skyrim subreddit, what did he expect was going to happen?
no. Okay, but see, here's the thing. Hold on. I did the same thing with Batman on the Batman and DC subreddits. And we had more likes than dislikes on that one. And no bad comments either to my post or to the video. And while you guys go look at the video, there will be like one post that me and one guy kind of traded back and forth a little bit. In the comments we had, it was good back and forth, not like, I hate you, fuck you, I hate you too, nothing like that. He's a great guy.
Okay,
but,
time out, Jim. Time out. Is anyone else getting robot-y from Jim right now?
I was about to ask that.
Okay. Hey,
I
let's.
can't help that.
Well, then we will hold off until your internet goes correct again.
I'm guessing it's you guys. 'Cause I'm on Ethernet. I'm hosting this shit. So
Am I robot-y right now? Anybody?
no, your camera
no,
has been
just Jim.
spotty this whole time. Just like jumping.
Okay, then I'm not robot-y.
I would say it's just Jim's.
Well, someone in headphones bring up the live stream and see if I'm robotic.
Alright, I will do that.
Anyway, so to continue explaining, we're not just gonna sit here and not talk for like 5 minutes.
No, I want dead air. I want dead air on our show right now.
Total dead air.
Nothing but Jim Cosplay kicking us off the show right now. So on the Reddit, we got quite a bit of hate. I would like to say it was only on a single point I made. Nobody commented about any of the rest of it. And the one point was no Steam Workshop for modding. That was it.
You're robot-y on the stream.
Well, fuck off. I don't even know what that means. Robot-y.
Means you sound like the computer from War Games.
Good.
And it's not either of us because Peter and I
Would you like
came
to
in.
play a game?
Yes.
I'm going to launch all the nukes. All the nukes.
Okay. That'll be fun. It'll get nice and warm, and then we won't have to worry about anything anymore.
Let's see. Turn your mic on and off right now.
Okay.
Still no. Can you leave the call and jump back in?
No.
He is hosting.
Well, that's a problem.
This is the one we use call. No, you're the idiot.
Alex, can you sign in to the roll and review to take over the stream?
Oh, you forgot that'd be bad.
And I can't do that right now since he's using it.
I don't know.
Just call. I can tell.
All right. Let's see.
How's it now?
Technical difficulties.
Let me see. Say something else.
Are you homosexual who likes other men? Yes, you are.
No, you're still coming in robotic. Can you give me access to the control room, please?
That's not going to do anything, but I can.
I'm just trying to help anything. See if we can actually get something going here.
Fucking hell, stop. I just need a button for me to change shit.
Just mute Jim the entire video so the rest of us are talking and Jim is making movements, but no one can hear him.
He's just getting angry. All right. So now that we have Jim taken care of,
Son of a bitch.
no, we've been having, the unpopular opinion videos have been a lot of fun to do, especially fun to make, and people seem to like them. So hopefully we can do some more of those.
Well, it's the Skyrim people.
Yeah, except for the Skyrim people, because they just have thin skin, I guess, because they can't take any sort of criticism.
Like, holy shit, guys! It's a fucking video game.
It's just also 2017, and it came out in 2011. You're going to have to be able to take criticism at some point.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, is it really that old of a game?
Yeah, it came out November 11th, 2011.
Damn.
Besides that, if you really like your own thing, you got to be able to make fun of it.
Yeah.
Can't
Oh,
make
yeah.
fun of yourself, then what can you make fun of?
No, that's true.
Okay, moving on. Jim,
Yes.
you said something about the Shazam casting going on?
Oh, the rumors.
Yeah. So
John Cena rumor, and there's something else.
we got no. Shazam casting is next on the show now. So yeah, Shazam casting rumors. Geez, there's a lot of shit going down with that. Apparently my computer wants to only look at the bottom of the pages. So what is going on? I hate everything. Okay, so Derek,
Stop.
what's his name? I can't see it because it keeps automatically scrolling down. to the bottom.
Yeah. Jim, we can't understand you at all.
Pretty bad. Yeah,
Hmm?
I cannot leave.
All right. Unless we end this now, we fix your issue, someone else hosts it because yours seemed to be having an issue, and we can try again with a part 2 of this.
Hold on, you assholes. How do I sound?
That's better.
Cool.
What was going on?
I had no idea. Absolutely no
Okay.
idea. I literally just went, use the default mic. Use the Yeti. And it's like, hey, you're fine.
It works. Sometimes you just need...
Anyway, so, yeah. Back to, motherfucker. I still hate my computer. My computer is being a piece of shit right now and will not, like my big computer, it is automatically scrolling to the bottom of every page. So all the references I brought up are not allowing me to actually see what I brought up because fuck me. I don't know why this is happening.
No idea. You guys have
I-
found technology today.
Fucking YouTube. It's only websites, I guess. Anyway, so there have been a couple rumors with casting for the movie Shazam.
All right.
From the DC universe. One of which is that that fucking John Cena has gone in to see if he would. I'm totally having a brain fart of the term of when you go in to see if you could be a part.
Audition.
Audition.
Audition. Yes, that's the word. Fucking hell. This is just a terrible, terrible day. So apparently John Cena has gone into to audition along with this guy. Really, everyone, my computer, just stop, please, just stop. Along with the actor from Baby Daddy, named. Oh, everything's yelling at me.
Don't worry about it, Jim, because we're all so familiar with that classical film, Baby Daddy.
It's a movie, or not a movie. It's a TV show. Oh my god. Okay, so all the ads have decided to play now, even though ad blocker's on. So you know, this is just like everything is going wrong right now, and my computers hate me.
The title of this show will be Technology Hates Jim.
Basically, it's Derek, like Teller or Theler.
Okay.
he's been cast. He's apparently hinted at auditioning for Shazam 2, with releasing some things online of like fan art of him in the costume and shit like that, and hinting at it. Apparently, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson could most likely be playing Black Adam.
Well, we've known that forever.
I want to say
Yeah.
that wasn't confirmed though. I thought.
Not really. It's been hinted a long time, and his name's been attached with the movie, but they've never actually said he's going to be Black Adam. So, whatever. I literally just have to get rid of everything I've brought up for this show. Bye, everything.
I mean, that's gonna be interesting. The Rock playing a bad guy, because he's always usually good. Well, besides the movie Doom, he's always played good guys.
Oh yeah, he really shed his villain image when he switched from The Rock to back to Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
I think that's why he wanted to do it, was to just branch out, do something. But other than that, it's a DC movie right now. You're 1 for 3, basically. I have no faith in you.
What? What are you talking about? DC movies are always great, and I can't even say that with a straight face. I'm sorry.
I had to say, I'm lucky I don't have the power to kick you right now.
Besides the Dark Knight trilogy and some of the other Batman movies and the original Superman movies, and Wonder Woman, they really haven't been good lately.
Batman 1 and 2, or not Batman 1 and 2, Superman 1 and 2. I mean, Christopher Nolan, who basically does everything on his own, so he doesn't count for the rest of the universe.
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't say movies. I'm just saying overall DC movies.
Well, even
Batman or 90s movies, don't really stand up.
But to say, even 89 Batman does not stand up as much as you think it would.
No.
It really doesn't. And 2 is, I don't really like. Whatever.
No.
Batman Returns.
Yeah, like Danny DeVito.
No, that thing was a more of a Tim Burton movie than a Batman movie. Got all flippery and stuff.
Nah, fair enough.
All right. Well, kind of going off that, because of the Shazam thing that we actually were on originally, because where the fuck did that go?
It went right where we cared about DC movies.
Right. Which we'll be talking about that later anyway. So whatever.
Yeah.
What's interesting is while the guy Derek Teller, or whatever, however you say his name, I'm probably messing it up, but while he is rumored to be going out for Shazam, he's also cast for a Marvel show, which is, I don't know how that's going to work. I didn't know they could actually do that.
Who is this?
Derek Teller.
I'm going to say, if it was Dwayne Johnson, you'd be like, I'm The Rock. You think you can tell me what to do?
No, it's...
I just make you money and you will shut up and stay over there.
Well,
but no, it's not him.
Oh God, what's his name? The director, who's now helping with Justice League now.
Joss Whedon?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't really done anything with Marvel in a few years, though. Kevin Feige's taken over.
But about to say, Joss Whedon basically got pushed out of... Well, he didn't even get pushed out. He voluntarily left Marvel.
Yeah. So I think there's a big difference between someone who left a few years ago to do other things and someone who is literally rumored to be auditioning for a movie that's to come out in, like 2020 or something like that, and also in a Marvel TV show in 2018. Yeah. Which, for the record, it's Marvel's New Warriors on Freeform. They don't pay me to advertise, but that's the show I'm talking about.
Okay. You said that like an advertisement.
I really did.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping people are like, hey, we can pay these guys. That'd be great.
You have very poor taste if you want to do that.
Don't say shit like that.
Yeah.
We want advertising.
Well, I mean, if it's not in the contract that says you can't go to DC, if like,
yeah, I know where you're going with this, but who's to say it's not in there? Because both of those companies are very protective over their properties, and when you're playing a hero in one universe, your face kind of becomes that company's property for that character.
right?
Well,
but
I think we're overstepping how big of a role this guy is going to have.
right. That's the other thing. I was gonna say if it's like Captain America, Iron Man, yeah, their contract probably has non-compete for hero roles or something like that in them. But for a small TV role, that they don't know how the TV show is going to be. I don't think they will.
This guy is probably guy who gets punched number 2, and then
No, he is one of the heroes.
Huh.
He is one of the heroes of the New Warriors.
red shirt hero number 2.
No, it's a comedy. So the New Warriors is supposed to be a lighthearted comedy on Freeform, dealing with like these young heroes adjusting to having powers.
Isn't that what that they kind of did with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a while?
No, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has always been a pretty good drama.
Yeah.
Except for when Sky had to learn how to deal with her powers.
There's a difference between the not the Immortals, the Inhumans, and just like, hey, these new heroes. Because literally the whole focus of this show is this group of heroes dealing with having powers, like these young new heroes, not, hey, this person on this cast of people got powers and is dealing with it.
Yeah.
So, but one of our friends' favorite characters over from Talks and Trade, Squirrel Girl's going to be in that one. Squirrel Girl. Hey, she beat Thanos. You can't say shit. She beat Thanos.
How?
Squirrels.
Lots of
I
them.
wish I was kidding. It was a shit ton of squirrels.
So Thanos is standing there and he just gets like overwhelmed by rodents and dies. So that's what happens?
She beats him up while he's being overrun by rodents.
Well, Galactus got beaten by being annoyed. So
True.
Yeah, okay. Weird things happen, but still.
But yeah, I mean, I'll be interested to see where that show goes, because we don't have any comedies in like the TV show for superheroes. I mean,
what, you mean Jessica Jones isn't a comedy?
I mean, there is one on Amazon, but it's not really a Marvel or a DC.
yeah, but I mean, when we're talking about like these two major
Okay,
companies,
what to say? The Tick's coming out.
I'm not talking about the Tick or anything like out of these two big companies that are making millions and billions of dollars, because they have, well, one has a huge universe, one is having a seizure on the floor, but we'll talk about that later.
Popped into the Caesar away from a full universe.
On that note, what's the next item on the agenda?
Why? Because I'm not PC. Whatever.
I'd rather avoid the yellow mark of death right now.
I didn't. I said it was the person was having a seizure. I didn't say why. I didn't call them an R word that apparently I'm not allowed to use anymore.
Yeah, he's not a reed. Oh.
Unlike Jim, though, Alex, you can get kicked.
I can.
And I'm looking at the eject button right now.
Oh, Let's see this. What does this remind me of? Oh yeah, a Thursday game where all of a sudden everyone keeps getting kicked.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point I was trying to make.
Looting kids with little balls.
Anyway, the point I was trying to make like 5 minutes ago was that none of the other, like, no one else is doing a comedy. Like, yeah, there are humorous parts. I mean, yes, Fox has Deadpool, which is hilarious, but they don't really count because they don't have a universe. They have a good movie.
DC
Or two.
tried.
Huh?
DC tried with that last show that was with no heroes in it. It was about just being humans in the world.
Powerless?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
they tried,
but they tried. So.
but then again, DC, so because I don't believe that was set in any of their universes. I think that was
Matt,
just independent show.
We just came up with a new slogan for DC. We tried.
Hey, don't worry. They still, to be honest, for the small screen, I would say small screen and animated, they will always beat Marvel at.
No. Animated, yes, but not TV.
No,
Like-
animated DC is winning and has won.
Yeah. But-
Actually, that's actually, I think, a good thing we should look at on a show. Compare Batman, the animated series, against the X-Men.
Oh, that'd be great.
Against X-Men, I would say
That's
Spider-Man.
that's not
longer
for
than
today, though. No, oh hell no. X-Men was so much bigger than Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, X-Men. X-Men is amazing.
This is why we don't trust Matt with this show. Why did we invite him on? Shit, that was me. Love you, buddy. Love you.
Anyway,
Anyway. Yeah, well, let's just fucking go to something totally different. Peter, you gotta take over for a while because fuck if I know what's going on in this. Star Trek Discovery plus the Orville's coming out, what, this weekend or next week?
Sunday.
Sunday. So tell us about those things, because fucking hell.
So, first Star Trek Discovery. It's the first Star Trek television show that's come out in the franchise since 2005, which was Enterprise, which was ingloriously canceled. This one is following the trend of basically everything where you always do prequels. So it's, again, set
Do they
before
just-
the 1960s show.
do they just want the Klingons to be the bad guys again?
Based on everything that I'm reading, it's even debatable about that.
What?
So the
Why?
because everyone is taking the fact that Star Trek often has social commentary or comments on political situations, and so they're taking that.
Yeah, that's the entire
and
point.
Just imagine what's going on in Hollywood with all the political
Oh
situations.
god, there's going
now,
to be an
so they're gonna
orange-haired
apply
alien.
that to the Klingons, or their perception of what's going on to the Klingons. And so you're going to get something that's very interesting, to put it mildly.
Question,
it's
can you
going to
have
be
an
a
orange-haired
classic.
Klingon?
What?
Can you have an orange-haired Klingon?
No.
These ones are following the JJ verse trend where they do not have hair.
So then how are they going to make a perfect interpretation of the president?
I don't know. I think he has orange armor.
Oh, fair enough.
But suffice it to say, it's going to be a very interesting rendition. It's visually very different from anything other than the JJ verse movies, even though it was pitched. Even though it was pitched as a normal timeline series.
It's the fact that you said JJ verse. A prequel JJ verse, I wouldn't want to see. I would like to see maybe a TV show set in the JJ verse where they deal with that, but it needs to be established that it's the JJ verse. But
yeah, they're not even. They don't even have the decency to tell us that it's in the JJ verse. Like, visually, it looks like it's the JJ verse, but they're not.
Yeah,
they're not saying that.
They don't want real Star Trek fans not watching it.
Yes, it's also on CBS All Access, so you have to pay to see it anyway. So I don't know what's going to happen with it. Part of me hopes it does well because, as a Star Trek fan, I want more Star Trek, and they also have a Nicholas Meyer project in the back burner to
yeah.
see what that does.
I just
But-
really hope, because what made Star Trek social commentary so good was the fact that it was subtle. It wasn't so
Yeah.
ham-fisted over the top.
Yeah,
Like
and
some of the
likely,
Like some of the
based on
characters.
what I'm seeing, it's going to be more the ham-fisted style than the more traditional, more subtle stuff that you saw in the '60s and in the Next Generation. It got a little bit more ham-fisted as time went on, but it stayed fairly subtle for most of it.
Like, because even the Next Generation, which is my favorite of the series, they got to a point where they were too ham-fisted with some social commentary that they made awful. Like, I'm talking about the Ferengi. Like, they wanted to make some commentary about like capitalism and especially crony capitalism, and the characters were awful. So they said, "Oh crap, we got to put this to the back burner."
Yeah.
And
And
then
then you
Ferengi.
had Space Nine, and it got better. But
Yeah.
Next Generation, they were just really bad.
Oh yeah, no, they were over. They were really over the top and obnoxious, and nobody liked them. It was also season 1.
Season 1, just don't watch. There's a few gems, but overall, don't watch.
Couple episodes.
I mean, it was season 1 was before they really got into the stride of they
Yeah.
can be their own thing and not just a recreation of
Yeah.
the original show.
Basically, as soon as the Borg show up, you either watch an episode with Q, or when the Borg show up, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Everything
But-
else is, I'm here, Wesley Deus Ex Machina. Okay, we got it.
Yes,
Wesley Ex Machina.
a Mary Sue right there,
Oh, yeah.
I totally
Wesley is a Mary Sue. God damn it.
Yes, he
So
is.
obnoxious.
without a doubt. But
Can a
anyway,
male be a Mary Sue?
I don't feel like calling him a Gary Stu, and especially since Mary Sue originated from a Star Trek fan fiction, it fits. I don't give a
Fair
shit.
enough.
but anyway, so that's Discovery. It's coming out late this month, I believe. So we'll see. I at least will be watching the pilot. We'll see what happens after that. Of course, everyone here knows that the Canonista monster inside of me will probably hate everything, but we'll see.
Yeah, I hope it's good. I'm not.
But I have a very bad feeling about it, to quote an entirely different franchise.
Just from everything that I've seen, I don't think it will. But speaking of that other franchise you just quoted, Rebels season 4 is coming out,
Yes.
Yes.
and
It's going to be the last season of it.
Dave Filoni has said that this is going to be the final season of Rebels, and that he seeks to put very good closure on everything, and including he basically saying this is going to be the de facto closure of both Clone Wars as well as Rebels, since he didn't get to actually finish Clone Wars.
Fair enough.
Clone Wars is still probably my favorite series, but
However,
Clone Wars is awesome.
I feel like my sadness is just going to be great because after this, I'm assuming Ahsoka is dead.
They're wrapping her story up, so probably.
I'm assuming she's dead, and
We still don't know yet.
we don't know, but
I have no idea.
I'm going to assume she's dead because that's how they're going to wrap her up. She's going to die because there is not another Jedi or anyone who could go up against Vader going into Rogue One and then the original trilogy.
right.
Where were they?
Yeah.
Well,
Which saddens me because she's my favorite character.
No, she's awesome.
well, you know,
And it-
Syndulla survives.
Yeah, but she's not Ahsoka.
No,
Yeah, she's not Ahsoka. Ahsoka is much more like personal to the entire story and everything.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
Like-
especially with wrapping up both Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah.
Who is in both? A lot.
And I don't know if you guys watched much of the part of Rebels when Ahsoka was in, but when she figures out who Darth Vader is, it is a really like
Oh,
gut wrenching moment.
the season 2 ending. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
for sure. The
Oh.
final season 2.
No, that was the finale, but even through the entire season, when she
Before
slowly
that, she
takes a part in it, and when they're in a space battle with the Sith Lord that
they were calling out that like, oh crap, this is Sith Lord, we don't know what to do, and Ahsoka's like, oh crap, this isn't good, and then she basically goes into a panic attack as she senses who it is, and
She recognizes the piloting style amongst other
Yeah.
things.
Mm-hmm.
she
Right.
recognizes, and then she gets the Force sense about it that she knows who it is, and
Yeah.
it hurts her.
Yeah, it's so Ahsoka is going to be a big question mark in this season, but so is
No, she's dead. She's gone. It's
Kanan,
not a question mark. She's
Kanan
dead. She's
and
gone.
Ezra. What they're going to end up doing at the end.
Yeah.
When is the season? When is the finale? When is the last episode coming out?
I don't know. I know that the season starts right around October.
It's October 16th, I think. Around there.
Let me see.
Starts.
Early to mid-October.
Season
But the
Because-
final episode would probably be in March, I'm guessing.
Because we will. It depends on what they do with the Last Jedi. Because I think something might end up going with that.
It's not telling me when the finale is.
Because
Ahsoka's the
Hera
last
might.
Jedi.
Because Hera might be alive.
Well, Hera is.
What?
Because in Rogue One, when they're in
It could
one of
be
the
her-
ship systems,
It could be her father as well.
no,
It's one of the two.
yeah.
So
one of
Hera
them.
might be alive, but we don't know. I think.
Well, the Ghost is also in Rogue One, so
Yeah, I think Sabine's alive. I think Sabine is gonna make it.
yeah.
Gosh, I hope so. She is like, isn't she like
She's-
the Queen of Mandalore?
Yeah, no, she has the Darksaber, and she's a
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. She's probably one of my favorite characters on the show,
Yeah,
besides Rex.
I'm still gonna sit here and mourn Ahsoka.
I
You
still
guys
think
keep talking. I need a grieving Dr.
Well-
Pepper.
there were some people who were watching it who were kind of hoping that Sabine might be the mother of Rey, which would be cool.
Yeah, I heard some people say that, which might be cool.
I don't think it's gonna be, but I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, but
Between
have
her and Ezra.
I have more of a sneaking suspicion. It's more of a darker edge. I personally think that Sabine may die. And the reason for that is that we've been having this. Now, of course, this could lead somewhere else entirely, but we've had this conflict with Ezra between the light and the dark, and we may see some sort of,
Final
I
station.
guess, fall that would eventually lead to the creation of the Knights of Ren, because they've been giving hints of Ezra finding a crossguard lightsaber, of course,
Yeah.
training with Maul, and there's just a lot of little. I don't know that that's exactly where they're going, but there's
Yeah.
just some nudges in that direction as a distinct possibility that
But, like-
Ezra may be one of the initiating factors in what becomes the Knights of Ren. Not necessarily the one who starts it, but one of the kickstarters behind what it is.
Possibly.
I mean, it depending on, because that's why I want to know when the last episode's going to come out, because depending on what we find out in Last Jedi, we might see Snoke somewhere in the series.
True.
Maybe. We do also have what's his face, Del Toro. He's playing a character that I don't
Oh
believe.
yeah, Benicio del Toro. Like, we're not sure what he's doing either.
There's a thought that's been rumbling around that he may be an older Ezra.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering. It's going to find out what's going to be in Last Jedi, till we know what's going to happen with Rebels.
Yeah, that's interesting, especially because I haven't heard that one, but the
Yeah,
main
that
rumors
rumor's
I've heard
been going
about Benito del Toro was going to be like basically like the political rival to Leia in.
No,
the
that's
Galactic Senate.
that's the woman from Jurassic Park. What's her name? Oh, Laura Dern. Laura Dern is Leia's political rival.
So now the other thing that they keep saying with Rex is that their rumor is he's the old guy on Endor.
Right, Return of the Jedi. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I thought I also read something that they're also going to bring back Wolf and Gregor in season 4 too.
I don't know. I think it's going to be one of those things that we're going to have to see. I think it's going to be a pretty cool season. We're going to get a wrap-up of Thrawn. That's going to happen at some point.
They're bringing in Rook, which would be interesting.
Yeah.
They brought back Yularen, which was actually really cool.
Yeah.
One thing I don't know with like the whole Ezra thing, it's like that's one of the big we'll have to wait and see. But with spoilers, Maul being dead, his dark influence is gone.
Yes. What do you guys, speaking, I know this is back to season 3, but what do you guys think of the Maul Obi-Wan spoilers fight there? I guess
I thought it was exactly what it needed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as a fan, I would have loved to see a little bit more lightsaber dueling, but like looking at what was done and how it was done, it was one of the best things that they could have done for that.
Yeah.
With that, I think what I saw, which I thought was just like the coolest part of it, was when they first see each other and they like both take their stances to get ready to fight. The first stance Obi-Wan takes was his like Clone Wars stance of him like it over his head and like he's ready to go, and then he does that, then transitions into the like the what we see him using in in episode 4.
Transition to Qui-Gon's pose from episode 1.
Yeah,
but that's the pose that's the basic form and pose he's using in episode 4. It's a more a conservative, less acrobatic.
I think with that was right there meant to show the growth that he's done in his exile, and it really shows the difference of the two characters and how they handled everything going on since their first duel in episode 1, and everything that both of them had gone through, and how Maul basically went through basically a self destructive route the entire time, and it just ended up hurting him. It just degenerating him till the point where there was nothing he could do against a master Jedi who has been doing nothing but training and doing that type of stuff the last 20 years.
Right. Yeah. Well, because in the Clone Wars, when they fight each other again in the Clone Wars series, it's Maul just mocking him and everything. So this last fight that they had, it was at first I didn't realize what it was until I went back. That it was the same exact fight against Qui-Gon, and it shows that Obi-Wan learned basically how to defend it and take it, and then how the two of them put aside afterwards. They actually put aside differences to say, "Hey, take care of the chosen one," basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it was nice to see Maul actually go that route at the end.
It's because he knew after he was beat that it's over.
Yeah.
And he needed that release at the end.
Yeah.
That's just it was the closure that he needed. Even though that he lost, he had to do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was, and it just was like, hey, he didn't. As a story, as fans, it was what we needed too. Darth Maul could not die any other way but by Obi-Wan. Just how it was.
I agree. I still have this like feeling deep down inside that like I still wish that the ontology movie of Obi-Wan would be that as the inclusion of Obi-Wan and Darth Maul, but they finished in Rebels, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
I mean, if they do that, and depending on the timeline of when the movie takes place, if the final scene in the movie is him stoking that fire, waiting for Ezra and Maul, that would be cool.
That would be awesome. I mean, it might get backlash from people that don't watch Rebels. Just be like, what the hell is this ending, you know?
But even they can do that, because that's a good way, just a guy contemplating on what's about to happen is a very good way of ending a movie, especially a character piece. Depending on what it is. It's a way you could do that being a satisfying ending. Plus, that's an Easter egg to everybody else who's seen it, that they know exactly what's about to happen.
Yeah, plus, at the same time, like, Rebels is, I mean, it's a fairly popular show. It's canon. And, the movie's not happening next year. We're going to have a little while before that. Yeah. And so the young kids who really, Rebels was made for, the younger audience.
Yeah.
Will probably be the main people going to see his ontology movie because they have the disposable income to do so.
Yeah.
And so having that connection back to what they know from Rebels to this new movie would be cool.
I just think they won't do it in a way where you'll have to know Rebels in order to get it, because they have come out and said that for the movie-going audience, you will not need to know the other stuff to get anything that goes into the movies. But if you know the other stuff, you'll get things that they won't, but it won't be anything big, so they feel lost.
Right.
Right.
Now,
So-
what I really can't wait for is I really want someone like Dark Horse to continue the comics of Star Wars Tag and Bink are dead and show how they are involved in Rebels and Clone Wars. If you guys don't know what those are, Star Wars Tag and Bink are dead. It's a play off a Shakespearean play, which I can't remember the name of it. It's roughly the same title. But it shows how these two guys, Tag and Bink, have been behind everything that's happened in the Star Wars universe. I mean, if you think back of when Obi-Wan is like turning off the power on the Death Star, the two stormtroopers that come in and like just kind of ignore him and leave, like that's Tag and Bink.
And then they get the hell out of there.
The stormtrooper that shoots C-3PO on Cloud City, that's Tag and Bink because C-3PO accidentally alerted the stormtroopers of their location on the Tantive 5. It's just, they're literally in everything, and it's hilarious. Great comic, for the record,
That's
just to go. It's like a 2-issue comic series.
That's funny.
But they did like an updated version for the prequels, prequel movies, and now I want them to do it for the TV shows.
That'd be funny.
So do you think they hinted at, going back to Rebels, at one point they hinted at with Rex something about Cody. So do you think because they brought back Yularen, do you think they'll try to bring back Cody to face something, to have something with Rex in season 4?
I don't think they'll bring back Cody. From clearly what we saw in episode 3, Cody didn't have his chip removed.
Right. That's why I'm thinking.
Don't think we'll be seeing any more of Cody.
But especially since there's going to be so much going on with the main character, and then they said they would also deal with the breakdown of Saw Gerrera and Mon Mothma. There's going to be a lot going on. So you have Thrawn, the main cast.
They're going to.
So there's going to be a lot going on that I don't think there's going to be a lot of filler episodes this season.
Might be
they have so much to do.
Speaking of Saw Gerrera, what did you guys think of how they ended up portraying him in Rogue One? Like the change.
I get the whole descent into madness thing. I think it'd have been fine if they hadn't had that stupid squid monster garbage. So it's hard to give an honest piece on him without having that thing in there. But other than that he's a terrorist gone wrong. He couldn't handle Mon Mothma's way of doing it anymore, so he just went on his own. This cruel, ruthless, he says he's the person who sees anything he does against the Empire is justified because the Empire is evil. It's an interesting character to have.
The ends justify the means.
And
I gotta say,
nice
with
to
that
see
squid thing though, it reminds me of American Dad when the stoner boyfriend is taken off to space and squid alien thing probes his mind to see if he's truly in love. I couldn't take that scene seriously because of that.
You can take that scene seriously anyway. That scene is completely. You could remove that from the movie and it would change nothing.
Oh yeah, but it was like
you have to.
Before I was like, okay, interesting. Then like the squid arms came out. I'm like, oh no, we're gonna have a ballad about love and
because basically
he's never been in love.
Because basically all you needed to do was that you have him sitting in the chair, Saw Gerrera taunting him, cut. The entire thing happens, and then you see him, he's sitting in his cell freaking out. And that's all you had to have. You didn't need to have anything else.
Right.
Ugh. That scene bugs me.
Yeah.
So while Alex is
vexes
bugged,
me.
let's move on. This vexes me. So now it is comic time with Jim. So I picked up 2 number ones this week. And actually, we've kind of covered aspects of both of these today in our discussion already. So the first one I'll start with is just the funniest one of the 2. It is Trump's Titans. Oh, yes. Trump's Titans. This glorious book. For the record, written by John Barron for Keen Spot. Okay, it's an unbelievable presidential parody.
Clearly.
So the entire story is like narrated as if like Donald Trump is narrating it. So like how it's written is just like it's ridiculous.
God.
Like it's the very first box is despite what the fake news would have you believe. It
No,
wasn't
it's-
until
No, it's despite with the fake news with David believe.
I'm not doing the voice, just so you can hear this. Despite of what the fake news would have you believe, it wasn't until June 14th, 1946, that our universe officially began.
And
Is
it
anyone
goes
else
down from
picturing?
there.
Is anyone else picturing Stephen Colbert's cartoon Donald Trump reading this?
Yes.
I mean, just look at the president right there. Mm.
Yes. No. We need to find someone to have that cartoon. That the only funny
Oh,
bit that he
and yeah,
does about Trump is
the
like,
title
that's
of
big.
that face on the cover. Beautiful. Absolutely hilarious book. Like the whole premise is that as president, obviously narrated by Trump, but as president, they have secretly had the ability to give the president and his cronies superpowers all along, but no other president thought that, like since like Reagan, and like no other president thought that, you know, they should use it because it was too much power, and Trump's just like, not too much power, the right amount of power. And the president gets Trump gets all the superpowers, literally all of them. Bannon gets the ability to vomit acid, which, as he says, I thought I already had that power.
Oh no.
Who else is on the team?
Pence can make trees explode with his mind. Only trees.
Oh God.
And then what's Ivanka's husband's name? Forgot.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. He can talk to birds.
They can talk to birds.
He can talk to birds. So Pence blows up a tree in the White House lawn, and a bird comes flying out. He's just sitting there. He says, "Why did God allow this to happen?" But I mean, they literally put as many like references to like movie quotes as they could.
Please tell me they do the old Aquaman talk with fish to speak
No,
to the
not yet.
birds.
At least
Dude, that's just, Alex. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, so it's Aquaman, but instead of fish, it's birds.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
The nerfed old Aquaman with no actual powers. Just do this.
The book is, I think it's absolutely hilarious. And oh my God, like, it's just funny. It's completely ridiculous and funny. So that's the first one, because why not? I saw that and I was like, I have to pick this book up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The second one is actually a Star Wars book, leading us into Star Wars The Last Jedi. It's the Captain Phasma book.
Oh, that's right.
Is she
Yeah,
going
this
to be an actual character? Who knows? Ooh.
This is a good book. Like I enjoyed this book.
Did she get out of the trash compactor?
Yeah. Yes. So matter of fact, the very first panel,
question.
or the second panel. Sorry, second panel is
I'm already out. It's not the first one.
stepping out of the trash compactor with a giant hole in it. The first panel is her starting a recording of notes about the final moments on Starkiller Base for later debriefing. But essentially, the whole book. I mean, she's pretty much a badass. She is walking around.
Is she what we wanted her to be in The Force Awakens?
More so.
Oh, fine.
Not like towards that. Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is book one. It's literally it brings us up through what happened on Starkiller Base to get to where her story continues after that. But like she absorbs a blaster bolt with her cape in the midst of the craziness of the explosions. She's walking away from explosions as they're happening as Starkiller Base is blowing up, just like giving no fucks. But like what it seems like the whole story is going to be based on is there was an undercover agent in Starkiller Base who took down the shields using her code. So she actually deletes the log of that, and then she goes after the guy. And she takes a couple pot shots, but because of the explosion and the tearing apart of the planet, she misses. But she sees off in the distance Kylo fighting someone with a lightsaber, and then the chasm happens, and she literally jumps it. And she finds this auxiliary hangar.
Right. So the shields down. So they're saying the shields down thing wasn't Phasma doing it?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to question.
Retconning trying to save a character from doing a bonehead move.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. It's hey, Phasma didn't actually do it; it was somebody else.
Okay. Because I really wish that'd be funny. She's in there they think I'm deactivating the shields. What the hell? The shields are deactivated. I didn't do that.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Just wait a minute.
But I don't think they're going to give her much levity.
No.
The other
since it was her code that did it,
right? But we actually see for the first time in something canon the new BB unit that has been now shown and put out there. BB-8's counterpart. Basically, a random TIE fighter pilot, and that BB unit escape Starkiller Base in a TIE fighter in pursuit of the guy who actually did take down the shields.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool.
It was Ahsoka.
I'm excited to see where it goes. It seems to be pretty well done. The writing wasn't stupid or anything like that. So
apparently they're just trying to fix The Force Awakens with it though.
A little bit. I mean, in that one, in the fact that it wasn't actually her that took down the shields. Yes, but
they also are trying to actually show that she's actually a badass.
Yeah, no, she was one of the biggest disappointments of Force Awakens.
Yeah,
the fact that they didn't do her the justice that she deserved was
right. They played it off as
quite disappointing.
And
yeah, well,
stuff.
I wouldn't call this retconning her being a badass. It's just giving us more actual proof of it instead of relying on the implication that she is a badass.
Yeah, we have never yet seen her be a badass, which is a shame that we should have.
Right. Which I don't know if it was kind of the idea that hey, we didn't actually show Boba Fett do anything cool, but everyone knows he's a badass. We could do it with her, and it'll work the same.
But Boba Fett didn't do anything so stupid the first time that he was seen. He was just I'm a badass.
Sure, he fell in the Sarlacc, but that was his second appearance.
That was second movie. That was the second one. So he already had his reputation by then.
He did.
Yeah.
This one didn't have a chance to give Phasma a reputation because she had done something really stupid.
And yeah, I'd say I don't know.
I think it's gonna be a good book. it's gonna show us, I mean, an interesting side of what's going on in between Starkiller base blowing up and where we're gonna see her in the next movie.
Okay.
Which I like. I mean, they always put out like the comic version of the movie
Yeah.
anyway, and I think those are just
Or the
dumb 'cause
novelization.
both. I mean, they literally do the comic version and the novelization.
Though some of the novelizations are kind of fun to read because you get some of the internal monologues you don't get in the movie,
Right.
which is interesting.
That's why I didn't bring it up, because the comic version is not that. The comic version is like just the comic of the film.
It's like reading storyboards. Like I have some of the storyboards for the original trilogy here. I mean, it's the same thing. It's just the storyboards, which is just really cool.
Exactly. And like those I'm not interested in getting, but like this book telling a unique story that's take place in between the movies. I like that's right where they're going for it, and I think it's pretty well written so far. So I heartily approve of this book.
Good.
All right, now this was, I guess, the main discussion, even though we've been talking for like an hour and 10 minutes. So we'll see if this actually ends up time-wise being the main thing, or if it was like us fucking around. So, is it a good idea to have movies or TV shows outside of the main universe?
No, roll credits.
I would say DC is doing a lot of their shows and it seems to be working.
Arrowverse works, and works especially because it is not part of the DCEU.
Right.
But, to be fair, Arrow came first before the DCEU was set up.
True.
And the fact that I think if Marvel did it, they would have a better way of doing it, because they technically have been, since they have the different studios doing different things. But you need something established before you can do offshoots, and it's just more proof right now that DC is scrambling, trying to get something to stick, because nothing is sticking.
Yeah, which is weird because Wonder Woman was fantastic.
Yeah,
and if that's the way the DCU is going, oh my gosh, I'm so hopeful.
Yeah.
I'm not really that hopeful. Dear God.
Yeah, but okay, let's let Justice League come out.
They've hurt me so many times.
Yeah.
I said, and that's why I said, if that's where they're going, I'm hopeful. But that's a big if.
And they're still planning a Suicide Squad too, so come on, we know exactly who's running the things over there.
Yeah, but you can make a second Suicide Squad movie and make it a good movie.
You could. Really bad precedent, though.
Well, I mean, you're setting the bar real low to make it better than that. But.
Well, that's fair. That is really fair.
Sometimes sequels can surpass their predecessors. It's happened before.
Yeah, that's true.
And especially with better oversight from like Jeff Johns and a good director.
And taking Zack Snyder out of the decision-making process.
Yes.
You were a cinematographer. You were not a director. Go away.
Exactly. So I mean, if they do that, like Suicide Squad 2 could be good, but
okay, who just thinks that if Justice League is bad, they're just gonna come and Flashpoint everything and start over?
Haven't they already?
Well, they said the Flash movies, they're gonna do a Flash.
Yeah, but they do Flashpoint and it could still go in with the main universe. If Justice League is bad, they're going to be using Flashpoint as hard reboot.
Well, right, and what they're going to do is just then have Joss Whedon take over directing everything and writing.
I don't know.
What if?
Well, I'm excited.
What if that is the whole plan behind Batman and Joker, which are not going to be part of the main universe? What if the whole thing is like, we've fucked up so much over here, we're just going to get through this, get to Flashpoint, and their universe is going to become the main?
I'd be okay with that.
A DiCaprio Joker, if that actually happens, and Batfleck is...
Okay, and give me a cool Deathstroke with Batfleck and an awesome Joker, I'm in.
Right?
And keeping Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. But keep Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you can keep most of the same characters. or
Even
most of the
Ja-
same actors as the characters.
Yeah, like keep Jason Momoa, keep Henry
Yeah.
Cavill. He's a good Superman when he's not
I like
written
him, yeah.
horribly.
Oh yeah.
Because
Or
I
yeah,
don't
killed off prematurely.
I don't blame. Like, so many people get mad at Henry Cavill. Like, Henry Cavill's not the issue with Superman. It's the people who give him the things to do.
Right?
Like, you see him in his thing, you're like, yeah, that dude's Superman. It's a pretty good one.
Yeah, but then you have like things like dialogue and plot that are created by the writers.
Ooh,
And you go,
but-
ew.
but this will give us our thing to have Lex Luthor, not Alex Luthor.
Oh yeah, that
Yes.
would be great.
That was stupid.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. I would love that.
Though,
Love
if
it
they
so much.
want to do this, they establish that. But then they want to do another, like, hey, we're doing outside the main universe. If they went back and did, like the whole when Darkseid took over and the really weird Flash thing in Batman v Superman,
Yeah.
if they establish
Yeah.
all this good one and then they put a movie like that was in that setting, like Superman's gone crazy evil, you got Desert Batman and all that, I think it'd be funny. That could be kind of cool.
That would
And
be
it's
kind of
every-
cool.
And it's a reminder of everything we hated, and then we kill everything that we hated in that one.
Just destroy that universe.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, or as I kind of made it earlier, DC has the Arrowverse, which is great, and then they also used to. They don't really have it as much anymore.
Great is debatable. Arrow has gotten weird.
Arrow has
Flash,
gotten weird. Flash.
Flash is
Flash
good. It's still got
Yeah,
Okay,
that-
I'll say it like I'll say it like
Supergirl's
this.
good.
I'll
Supergirl's
say it like this.
yeah.
So the Flash is entertaining, but it's not really a good show. This is
Yeah.
probably going to be an unpopular opinion anyway, so we should make this a video. But
good.
like, they keep just doing the same thing over again.
Yeah.
Like in season
Teasers.
1, they basically tried a Flashpoint. He realized, no, I shouldn't do that. And then like the second season, he does it. And then the third season, he's cleaning, like he does it again. He's cleaning up what happened. Like, geez, come on. Give us something new.
Season 4
Yeah.
supposedly is supposed to be all new. Something new.
I mean-
They're-
Doing a different story than the one we've seen for the past 3 seasons is new. So,
Yeah.
but
so-
I will say I like I just forgot his name.
Stephen Amell,
No. Well, I like him as Arrow. I'm talking about the guy that plays Flash.
the one and only true Flash. All their flashes are fake.
What's his
I don't
name?
know. I like Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller, I think will be good. But what's the guy that plays it in this TV show? What's his name?
Grant Gustin.
Yes, I like him as Flash though. I like him as Barry Allen.
I think he's a better Barry Allen than what I've seen about Ezra Miller.
Yeah,
But it's very not a lot because we haven't seen much of him. But
Yeah. But Ezra Miller's Flash seems really funny. Seems to like have like actual chemistry with the people or like with the actual heroes around him. It
yeah.
seems like it'd be-
Ezra Miller's Flash reminds me more of the Wally West Flash, kind of, with the funny.
It gives me the old Justice League vibes, which
Yeah,
I'm not
which was
gonna
always-
I'm not gonna complain having that though.
Yeah, that was more Wally. That was a Wally West Flash though in Justice League. So
I'm still okay with it.
I don't
whatever.
know.
But I mean, but to get to the real, I mean, Alex, you wrote it off, said no, and moved on.
Then I actually came back and said my opinion on the
Yeah,
Ashley thing.
But like this is a legitimate question because of DC, because they have TV shows in a different universe that are working. I mean, they're popular, they're extremely popular. You know, however we like them or have our qualms with them, like they are at least decent shows. And then you have the movie universe, which is failing, but I mean, that's where we have all wanted them to go for years.
Yeah.
So is it good to have this separation?
If they go and they own this separation, and they keep trying to act like they're just not trying to play catch up, then it would work. But the fact that they just have this vibe of they have no idea what the hell they're doing, because having the other studios direct movies, people who are non-major fans won't know the difference. Like, there are people who walked out of Fan 4-Stick thinking that was part of the MCU. I think it will do more harm than good to them, even if they're good movies. Because if they're in a lose-lose situation. If they're bad, people will equate it with the already movies that are being bad and they don't know what they're doing. If they're good, people are going to be angry that this isn't part of the main universe that they want to know.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they have no upside to this.
Well, I think the potential upside is that if something in one of them fails, it doesn't necessarily take down all of what they're doing.
Right.
Like yes, people who didn't realize Fan 4-Stick was not part of the, MCU, turned off for a minute, but then you go and see movies like Civil War and things like that, which are just utterly fantastic,
but
all of them are
DC
bad.
doesn't have that going for them, that they'll have something else like that. They're still so unproven that.
But
that's
the
why
shows are
they were
great. But that's what I'm saying. The shows are good. People really like the shows. So a bad movie doesn't necessarily destroy what they're doing in the TV shows. And like the major fans of Arrow, I mean, I really like Supergirl, Flash. Like, yeah, the Flash movie might
not
suck.
where the money.
That's not the issue. It's about is it good in general, not is it going to make them the most money? Because if the Flash movie sucks, or Flash is written terribly outside of the best parts that we saw in the trailer, that's not going to destroy the show of the Flash. However, if in Infinity War, when they bring in all of the minor characters in Marvel, if they fuck that up or fuck up the characters when they have a major motion picture showing, that could fuck up their TV shows.
That could. But right now, there being that disconnect between the different mediums is their saving grace. Because if one bad thing happens and one doesn't, that's the risk you take. That, hey, we're making these two things unconnected. That gives you that safety net. If one messes up, you still have the other, especially if one of them is popular. Yeah. However, it being on the same medium, it's a lot harder to do.
This is true.
Which is why it all depends how it's executed, and I don't think DC has proven they're able to execute it very well.
Yeah. When we compare the DCU movies compared to the not DCU movies, I think that's a different question. But I guess the real question is, does the detriment of the movies not being part of the same universe outweigh the potential security that the TV shows not being in the same universe gives? Like that, the benefit of that. Like, does it outweigh it where it's just it's generally a bad idea, or is it a gray area?
On the same medium, it is a gray area. I mean, obviously it could work, but I think it is a lot more risk with not that big of a reward, because you're basically just giving yourself insurance because you're thinking one of your things is going to bomb.
Right, but again, when taking all of it into scope. So the benefits of a separate TV universe and the detriment of random movies, is the detriment of the random movies greater than the benefit of the separate TV universe?
No. If it's separate things like that, no, that's fine. I don't think it's that it doesn't all have to be connected.
Right, because when we're talking about DC as a whole, is it a good idea to have some of that? Is the separation generally good or bad? Yeah, I mean, random movies. Like right now we have 2 movies that aren't said to be in the DCEU. I don't know about any of the other ones from here on out.
If we're talking about well, go ahead, Matt.
I would say that I think is where it's going to be a problem. Like the whole Batman and the Joker, that movie not being set in the universe just doesn't make sense, because they're the same actors playing. I mean, not the Jared Leto Joker, but Ben Affleck being the Batman. It makes no sense to try to say, oh, this is not part of this universe, but yet it's the same actor, same character.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Though I think if you're talking about all mediums and they're using different actors for the same characters on different mediums, I think that is better than trying to use the same actors for different universes. Because I would argue having different universes is even better because you don't feel so overwhelmed like you have to catch up with absolutely everything in order to be in the loop of something.
Right.
But okay, I will do with mine with the caveat. If you try to do different universes with the same actors playing the same characters, it's a bad idea.
Generally, I mean, the Flash shows I think have done a really good job with the multiverse, and like the different Harrison Wells and stuff like that.
But
that's different. That's actually very right on with comics and the Flash.
And that was all in that one show. It wasn't they made a separate show that is a multiverse.
Exactly.
Right.
Um,
I'm surprised that they went with the multiverse and how well they've done with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. And, I mean, having, like, you've had Harrison Wells 3 times actually, like, be in the Flash show. And one was evil.
Yep.
One's a douche, but is generally good. When you first meet him, you're like, oh, he's evil. So that was kind of, like, that was actually an interesting change.
Mm-hmm.
And then another interesting change where the current one he is so different from like the other Harrison Wells we know. He's not a super genius. He is like a creative type. He's a writer. Like he's the more artistic type, not the scientific type. And it gives great. I mean, it shows the acting ability of that actor because he's just great.
Yeah, the same character, but he has to change it up.
Yeah,
but I think that works better for TV than it does in movies.
Oh yeah,
But
but so off the multiverse because that's a plot type thing, not separation of movies. I mean the question just keeps coming back: is the detriment to DC as a whole of these random movies greater than the benefit of the standalone Arrowverse?
I think with the Batman, it will be. I think it'll be a detriment with that movie. I think it being the movie universe and the Arrowverse being separate, I don't think it is because at first it seemed like everyone was mad about it, but now it makes sense. Different styles, different ways of playing these characters and things. But I think with the Batman movie being its own universe is just going to be permanent.
It sounds like DC is expecting Justice League to do bad. And
I mean, you can only fix so much in post-production.
I know, but that's what it sounds like they're preparing for.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep going back to it feels like they're scrambling. And that's why perception often overrides reality a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, especially
right now,
when it comes to an art because it's totally based on perception of the material.
So I think if the Batman solo movie and its own universe is good, it'll be fine for that, and they might be able to do their own thing with that. But that might be the death of the DC universe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, and we'll see if it's just this Batman stuff that they're wanting to do separate, or if it's all DC stuff. I mean,
and how many Jokers are there right now in the whole
3? There's
DC
3
cinemas.
Oh, in the cinemas?
In the cinemas, there's at least 3 right now.
I mean,
Jared Leto, Flashpoint Joker that they're doing, and now whoever's going to be in this new one.
Yes. Okay, that's what you meant. I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
But in comics,
which hey, that matches with the comics because there's 3 in the comics.
Well, that's
which we still don't know much about, but whatever.
Reboot. I don't think that's canon anymore with Reboot.
Yeah.
Oh, is it again?
Yeah.
Rebirth established multiple Jokers, didn't it?
Yeah,
no, it was 2, I thought.
Okay, so I mean, unless you guys have read the comics.
Side note, Jim.
I read the comics. So, yes, it was first brought forward in New 52 at the very end of the New 52 run of Batman and Justice League. I think it was Justice League that did it.
Yeah.
But Rebirth did not reset the universe. What Rebirth, which I mean, sometimes it feels a little bit that way with a few characters, but in general, it did not like reboot the universe, because the major change between New 52 and Rebirth line is the fact that Wally West came back from being stuck in the Speed Force and is now aware that the New 52 universe, which they're all living in, is different from where he came from before Flashpoint, because Flashpoint created all of this in its wake.
Mm-hmm.
So while, yes, that information was brought forward before Rebirth, it wasn't erased in Rebirth. It's still very much true.
Yeah. And wasn't there the thing that the comedian is a Joker?
No, I mean, that's something people threw out there as an idea, but it's not true.
Okay. What's going on with the Watchmen? Has anything really come of it? Besides basically Flashpoint, and it was basically Flashpoint and Dr. Manhattan that were responsible for most of that.
Yeah, I mean they've dived in. I mean they're diving into that question, especially like in the series of like the button between Flash and Batman. But it's not like the Watchmen have just shown up and are like walking around and like Dr. Manhattan's blue penis is hanging out, just like.
Do you think
Hey.
they eventually will end up being meeting at some point?
I mean, I think that's how it has to, like, this whole Rebirth has to end. Whether
Yeah.
it gets taken back to what the world was before Flashpoint, or whether they have to accept the world that they live in now, I don't know what will happen in the end. But
It depends what they do to Dr. Manhattan.
But yeah, I think the only resolution to this, and the only resolution to the question of who did this to us, like who took these 10 years out and why and all that, has to end with the Rebirth and like the DC universe coming in contact with the Watchmen and Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
So
Where do you think, if they do that, do you think the graphic novel Watchmen is going to be canon in what they do, or is it going to be at some point like during the whole thing or before Watchmen takes place?
I don't know. It's.
Because
I mean, I hope they just tap the characters and bring them into this universe, but leave the Watchmen story itself alone.
yeah,
In the graphic novel, and not say like this has to be part of the DC universe. Like that's my hope.
Yeah. Because one thing that I think they could do, people might not like it depending, but no matter what they do, as long as you have Dr. Manhattan, you can do a hard reset with anything. You can wipe people's memories, you can do whatever, or you could have even him know about everything and him just not say it because he's Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
basically
I mean-
have a get out of jail free card with him.
you really do. Plus, I mean, everything that's happened could be a mistake from Dr. Manhattan, because you know how well he
Yeah.
actually does things on purpose.
As long as he's not distracted pretty well.
I mean, but there tends to be some unforeseen consequences of
Yes.
most of what he does.
That is true.
And I think this could be one of the unforeseen consequences that just no one really even notices because
Mhm.
it's in a different universe. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just hope they don't mess with or try to explain or try to touch the Watchmen story itself, because I feel like that would just like cheapen it. And
Would it be fun, like, if they're going, they meet Dr. Manhattan, and it's some character that doesn't have a good attention span, and you just have Dr. Manhattan try to start to explain it, and you just have this guy do the what? So you're
like
not, you're
Booster
just getting,
Gold meets Dr. Manhattan.
so you're just getting like techno bobble, like blah 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 in the background is what like this character is hearing, but it's really what Dr. Manhattan is explaining on what happened. So the only thing you know is from someone who can't understand it.
So Deadpool crosses over into that universe, and
Yeah.
here's this. No, I'm kidding. I mean, that'd be interesting.
That's what I think we need again. Another DC Marvel crossover.
God, that won't happen.
Because that'd be great. Because all you need to do, you need Deathstroke to come up to meet Deadpool, and Deadpool like, wait, you can't do that. It's a web series that proved I beat you, and just walk away.
That'd be great. Which he would,
He would.
because Slade Wilson just couldn't kill him, like permanently.
And you can't predict the unpredictable.
This is true. Taskmaster proved that to us
Yeah.
in the Ultimate Spider-Man series.
Anyway, I think this is a good show. We've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, it's been like an hour and a half. So
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, the question was really unresolved whether the negative effects of the individual movies outweigh the positive effects of the TV shows having their independence and not being able to be screwed over by terrible movies.
I think we resolved that with DC doesn't know what they're doing, so who knows?
Who knows is the best answer we could give.
Yeah, probably.
Thanks everyone for coming. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you're notified when we start streaming or we post new videos, like our next unpopular opinion video, which will probably be a bit of a throwback because I feel like I went back in time now that I don't have facial hair. So I'll be taking on something of your childhood that you probably love and have immortalized, because I love being screamed at through the internet. Anyway, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button, or not the subscribe, fuck it, that like button down below. Tell us your thoughts on whether the good of the shows being separate outweigh the bad of these individual movies, or tell us what you think about anything else we talked about, from Star Trek to Star Wars to the success of It or the fucking Donald Trump comic book.
Literally, the greatest part of this whole show
The greatest part of
was
the
when we were talking about me and my amazing comic.
He has such bigger hands now that he has superpowers. He does state that. Anyway.
His superpowers, his hands grow, but he loses something else.
All right. So thanks for coming. We'll see you next time.